come here and get paid.
Gather round and listen to a tale of brave souls, big and small, where they go on adventures, where they may trip but never fall. Trials, triumphs, and doing their best. Join us, friends, on a stumble quest.
Last time on Stumble Quest, the gang goes full bar rescue and discusses how best to make the inn as haunted as possible for tourism. And Oswalt has a transcendent moment with a very salty dog.
It's nighttime now?
Yeah, it's getting to nighttime around now.
Yeah, so it was like do the first thing and then we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think we're like, whew, okay. We've done the first thing. Now we'll see how it goes.
Well, Knack still explains everything to everyone and says that he may have signed everyone up on this. But good news, here's your money back. Here's your gold back for the room. And that gives everyone their gold back.
Coin.
Yeah.
Art is like, you should probably keep the 2 gold for our rooms so that you have literally any money.
I don't want your handouts.
No, Knack, it's not a handout. It's you.
I'll take it. I'll take the money.
No,
I don't mind. Look at me, I'm
you
sick.
have enough money.
I had a tummy ache.
How dare you try to steal my money?
Why do you have a tummy ache?
Because she ate glue, remember? Oh, yeah.
So Knack's just being difficult. Knack was like, I don't want your handouts. And then you're like, I'll take
the
it. And I'm
handout.
just like, how dare you try to steal from me?
I don't want your handouts. I'm a businessman now.
Yeah.
How dare you? This is my money.
I really like that duality of giving up all your money so you don't have material possessions and then also running a business.
Yeah.
Well, the giving away all the money, to be fair, was because he destroyed the last inn we stayed in.
He had all his money.
It wasn't a noble.
It wasn't a noble task.
That's true.
He gave away all his money to fix the first destruction, and then the second destruction, I have to give my money to fix.
Yeah, it's because the elephant blew up a whole place twice.
Knack says, thanks, but I've given up all of my earthly possessions. Knack hands the money back.
Art takes it back and is just like...
The entire time, Brix has got her paws up, all like, trying to get it while you're passing this money back and forth.
Knack's giving up money like it's a drug.
Yeah, Knack's giving up money, but we're still gonna have to pay for it.
We're gonna have to pay.
It's
the same thing.
Like cigarettes. Yeah. Knack's just gonna be super annoying like that. He's just gonna be like, I don't have money. I don't need material possessions.
I don't believe in money.
Can you guys get my bill?
And he'll walk out to his room and Art will just pay.
and then we continue to have to pay for things anyways, whether you give it to him.
Yeah.
Knack is going to be a hypocritical
monk.
Knack is going to take a hypocritical oath of no material possession.
Hypocritical.
And he's going to talk himself up on it all the time and then get you guys to get his bill on food, on breakfast and
Yeah.
Speaking of people paying bills, the single other patron at this bar who looked as though were... What?
Raisin Man.
Yeah.
That was the one cuddling the little keg or whatever?
The cask of ale, he was holding on to it as if it was his only possession in the entire world. While you guys were doing the whole door thing, he was looking like he was about to doze off. And a moment later, as you guys are upstairs having your discussion about money, you hear a clatter from downstairs, followed by a beat of silence, and then,
Art's gonna run back downstairs.
Knack goes downstairs.
Oswald also goes downstairs.
Okay, I guess
we're all going downstairs.
I guess Brix goes downstairs too, but the entire time she's like, oh, my tummy.
You had cure poison. You're fine.
Peg is now admiring his newly functional door, ignoring the man in distress, who is now down on his hands and knees on the floor, trying to scoop up the remnants of his ale from the floor, which he has knocked over.
Oh, that's really sad. What, is he trying to suck it out of the carpet? Like, what's going on?
Well, okay, so that would
Takes a
be
straw.
the more normal thing to do, yes, to just get down and be like, but no, he's trying to, like, gather it up with his hands, which clearly isn't working.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
At least use a straw. Knack reaches behind the counter and pulls a straw.
Sir, are you all right?
Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. Here it comes.
Here
He's not
comes the tragic
responding, he's just
backstory.
crying.
Don't.
Can Brix subtly cast Ray of Frost and freeze it so at least it doesn't, like, seep in between the floorboards and he can just, like, pick it up like a big sheet, you know?
Oh, it's
Sure.
It's a popsicle.
Chip it off the floor.
Yeah, and then he's got like a boozy slushy, you know?
Okay.
I think the problem here is his rampant alcoholism.
Yeah,
not the
I think he
alcohol.
needs
Yeah,
water around.
we all have our crosses to bear.
Not a
Okay.
popsicle. Alcoholic popsicle.
She's gonna wiggle her little beans and like
Magic. That's a casting word.
So the now completely frozen puddle of ale, he picks up as one just like roughly disc-shaped object and just holds it looking sad for a moment and then starts licking
it really sadly.
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah.
bar floor made of? Like a non-stick pan? Like, how did he get it off of there?
It's so greasy and nasty, it just slips right off.
Yeah.
There's a patina on it, probably, like pans.
Mm-hmm. It's the first instance in this world of like properly coated wood, so nothing sticks to it. It's completely hydrophobic.
What's it called, like, for cast iron? Seasoning. It's got seasoning.
Yeah.
It's seasoned.
It's
Yeah.
seasoned.
The floor is seasoned.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
It's the
sense. It was
words
all
you
over the
just said.
door.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People tracking that shit inside.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Ugh.
I'm tired of looking at this guy.
This guy's just sitting on the floor now, licking his plate of beer.
We'll take his booze disc and like toss it outside. He'll probably chase it.
Tired
Throw
of
it like
looking
a
at this
frisbee
guy.
over the buildings.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
You need some water.
We don't
and
need
some
We got
guys
business to do.
Seriously, what is happening?
We don't need guys like this bringing down the mood here.
Hey, don't pay him any mind. He's not causing any trouble.
Peg, do you have some water here?
I think so.
You think so? You think?
He hobbles
Seaside
back.
town in the largely desert. It's likely a lot of mead and
Knack puts his hands on his hips and says, "No, there's a certain time when you have to turn these customers away. You think any customers are going to want to come in here when you got a guy licking alcohol off the floor?"
I mean, if you make it a feature of the place, we got the booziest floors in town. You give everyone, like, really thick socks when they get in and they can walk around on the boozy floor and then, like...
This place already has a theme, Brix. It's salt. It's not booze on the floor.
It can have two themes. You know how you have, like...
Later.
I'm glad we've moved to salt from ghosts.
Ghosts. I was about to be like...
Damn it! I forgot about the ghosts!
No ghosts. We don't need the ghosts.
We could still have... We could have the booziest floors in town, and then the saltiest doors in town, and the ghostiest ghosts in town. It still could be a
We got
thing.
boozy floor, salty door, now with ghost.
Yeah, see, that last bit doesn't rhyme at all. Also, boozy floors that's just bad. No, it's bad.
How do you know? You like go home and read books and stuff.
Customers slipping all over the place. Taking up the aisles, slurping the floor. We can't have that.
What
We
the
can't
fuck
have
kind of
that.
insult is that? You go home and
insult
read
that He
books.
can't even refute an insult that he's like, just because I go home and read books doesn't...
You're too educated to know about fun things like boozy floors. Nerd.
drink.
That's-
I have a good time.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Knack grabs the guy's alcohol disc and goes to the door and opens it up, throws it like a frisbee over the buildings across the road.
Why wouldn't you throw it into the ocean?
So that he goes away.
There's a whole ocean.
Well, I want him to chase it. I don't want him to chase it into the ocean.
Yeah.
He'll probably die.
Because he might.
I want him to get out of here. I don't want him to drown.
No, before I throw it, I hold it and shake it around. I go get it, and I throw it like a frisbee.
He, I want to say runs after it, but it's more like stumbles after it. Tears streaming down his face.
Oh.
I think he might die. We didn't even get to get him any water or food. I think that man might be dead.
We should have let him die. Then we'd have a ghost.
Peg reemerges from behind the bar and says, "I do have water, it turns out."
I was happy once.
That's good. Actually, you should have water in your very salty and alcohol-filled establishment.
You gotta learn when to cut them off.
While all this is happening, Oswalt's standing there with his furrowed brow and has a whole bunch of lines in his forehead with his mouth slightly agape, looking around. And then he just kind of shrugs and turns to Cake and goes, can I see where you make the food?
He points towards a door behind the bar. The kitchen area is situated right underneath where the stairs are that go up to the rooms. It's a very, very small space, and it's just fucking stuffy and hot as hell.
The kitchen area is a gas stove with a sausage on it cooking.
Essentially, yeah. It's essentially just a fucking stove in a closet.
Well,
watch me while I do my dark deeds.
Oswalt just wants to get a general feeling for the kind of inventory that he has.
It's mostly just a bunch of sausages and a variety of herbs and spices. A couple pieces of jerky, and that's it.
31 secret herbs and spices?
31. 47.
Does he have anything like pots and stuff like that?
Yes, like one of each. He's got like 3 different sizes of pots, a couple different pans.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing this man cooking these hot dogs on an electric burner, just putting the sausages on the bare burner.
Yeah.
And then just like turning them over so that they get the grill marks.
I like that better.
Yeah.
Let's say it's that instead. He has some pots for making things like pasta, but he has none of that, by the way. So these pots have been wildly disused. And he has no pans to speak of.
And a greasy.
And his, like, burner thing is just, it's just greasy as fuck.
Seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
It's not greasy, it's seasoned.
Yes.
Yeah, it's seasoned.
It's flavored.
Gonna start a fire at any moment.
We can't
easily,
giving it that excuse. Not everything in this bar can be seasoned.
Oswalt comes out of the kitchen and goes, okay, well, I mean, I'm not really sure what Knack said, but I think I can help out here a little bit. I'm just gonna clean up in here, and I have an idea for a thing that was a nice treat back when I lived near water. So I'm just gonna take this. You guys can yell about ghosts all you want. Okay, and then he goes back in the kitchen and starts cleaning.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna go upstairs here, and Art's gonna put the salt down on the counter.
Just loose?
And just
loose.
What else? If there's a bowl or a cup, he'll put it in it. But otherwise, it's just there loose.
It's just
but those are for pasta.
You can definitely find a bowl nearby.
A bowl, you say?
I was so scared you were gonna say that. Art is gonna put the salt in a bowl, look directly at Brix, and just be like, make a face that's like, pick a different one, or like put the salt somewhere when you're done. Like, I'm staying out of this one.
You've given this bowl character. It's the salt bowl. Now it has meaning and like value.
Honestly, I mean, he's just gonna go upstairs. We're supposed to be keeping a low profile. We're doing our bar rescue.
Yeah,
we have things upstairs that we haven't looked at.
I'm not very sure what I'm doing here either right now. I'm tired.
Art gives Will kind of a look, and he there's an artifact that we don't know anything about upstairs.
Go look at it.
maybe we should take a look.
Okay.
We'll keep the plot rolling. You guys have fun with bar rescue.
Look, if anybody needs to organize a soiree or make a list of guests, I'll be there. But in the meantime...
Yeah, you go do the important shit. And Brix, I want you to imagine you're looking at the bar and just rising above it. You know how cats will like flatten out their ears and like peek over something with... She's doing that.
Yeah. Oh,
like owl eyes.
Yeah.
Art just like, he doesn't look at all. He's like, he's not looking. He's left the bar. He's not going back. He's like, whatever happens with this cat and this bowl and this bar and this salt is
not on me.
Frankly,
anymore.
none of my business.
Plausible deniability.
Knack is nodding with a notepad, writing down list of guests, soiree. Got it.
Knack later, what's a soiree?
He writes it phonetically.
Yeah.
SW
AH
AR
R
WAY
AY.
capital R A capital A
AY. Sorry.
Soiree. Regarding Knack getting rid of the Raisin Man, Peg approaches Knack and is like, "Was that really necessary?"
Holy shit.
Yes. What's one customer to a drove of potential customers?
He ponders for a moment and he's like, "You really think he was that big of a problem?"
Customer put my kids through college.
If he was grossing me out,
and Knack motions to all of himself.
then he's gonna gross out anybody.
Is Peg like an old elven man?
Yeah.
Yeah, who is
I
he?
assume-
What does he look
okay.
like? Oh yeah, he's got
Okay.
pegs everywhere.
He's got
Apparently.
pegs.
He's got a peg
peg leg,
tooth.
peg teeth.
He might have a peg eye, you don't know.
He has peg tooth. Ew.
He holds up his hand
That's
to his
character,
chin
though.
and you
That's-
notice that one of his fingers is also a peg.
Bruh.
He got them in bulk.
You got
They're like nesting dolls because they get like bigger, so it's like nesting pegs. At night, he takes them all and he claps them down.
Yeah.
He kisses them goodnight. He tucks them in their own little bed.
Yeah, puts them all one into each other.
That's good. That's good. That builds character. We could possibly use that.
What? The pegs?
Peg's a salty dog. How do you like that?
Come here and get pegged.
I'm here to get paid. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do something like that for the slogan.
Yeah.
You should go outside and try and get people in.
We'll peg you. Just ask.
We're supposed to be keeping a low. No, it's fine.
Come on down to Peg's salty dog and get pegged.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Like it.
Then they come down and they're like, "Oh, it's just a bunch of fucking beer and hot dogs. What shit is this?" I was told I get pegged.
Beer and hot dogs.
He was
so
expecting
far.
so much. So much.
So far, yeah.
I think we need to start setting our sights a little lower on this ghost thing. First, we already got a theme. If an opportunity comes up where we can acquire a ghost, then, go from there.
What's all this talk about ghosts?
Yeah, I'm over the ghost.
And Brix is wiggling her little fingers and rubbing her chin. Think like Indiana Jones, you know? Thinking
With the
about
bowl.
how she's going to steal this thing.
The salt bowl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The bowl, by the way, is another wooden bowl. Compared to everything else or most other things in the bar, it does look like it's of a slightly nicer make. It's hand carved.
The bowl's strangely enticing, kinda.
No, it's not that nice. It's just like
Yeah, it's sparkling.
some of the other casks for the ale and stuff are of like a similar quality. It's not completely out of place in how nice it is, but it's just slightly nicer than some of the other things in the bar.
It would be funny if the bowl is just one of the casks cut in half. One of the little casks.
Might be. Saving money.
It might be now.
It is now.
That's a good idea.
It is now. Yeah.
It is. It is. Thank
Okay,
you.
so it's like a half a cask bowl, which means it's a type of bowl Brix doesn't have, which means now we're gonna have to deal with Brix stealing another fucking bowl.
Mhm.
Oh, she can outwit this guy.
He's busy talking to Knack, right? Right? He's talking to Knack?
Yeah.
Plus, we'll get him new bowls, right? We're renovating this place. We can't have.
Yeah.
He'll just cut another cask in half
Nice.
Yeah.
Fine.
and then be one cask short.
Yes, that's whatever, man. Whatever. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Lose a cask to gain a ball. Then.
I rolled really poorly, but that doesn't matter. I got a 21
Oh my god. Okay. Sure.
for sleight of hand.
Yeah. Are you dumping the salt?
No.
Stealing the salt as well?
I want you to imagine Brix trying to do, you know, the tablecloth thing?
Yeah.
Where, like, you yank the tablecloth so quickly the shit just stays in place. I want you to
Okay.
picture that with the salt.
That is weirdly exactly what I was thinking. Just like Brix takes the bowl in such a way that the salt just remains where it was
like, just
somehow.
sort of displaces.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, if you like scooped it out from underneath. Yeah.
yeah.
Excellent.
So now there's just a strangely neat pile of salt on the bar counter.
All right, I've done my bit. I'm going upstairs. She goes back upstairs.
Oswalt's in the kitchen cleaning it, thinking to himself that he has to get better at saying no to people.
Who's people, Knack or Peg?
Both, I guess. Just in general.
Peg didn't even say anything though about the kitchen.
Man, this arc is really going to change how we interact with each other, and a lot of it's going to come down to the bar rescue, which is the wild part.
The part that Jeff is just yes-anding us on.
Yeah.
Just to see how we fucking trap ourselves.
Because here's the thing. We're going to make this bar great, and then a bunch of cops are going to come in here and arrest us immediately.
And we will defend
Shit, I
this
didn't-
bar.
That's all I've been thinking of. Like,
Yeah.
my brain has never not been there. This is gonna be a lovely time. We're gonna do great. Peg's bar is gonna be fantastic. And then we're just gonna get fucking arrested.
It's gonna take 3 days and 3 nights, and then on the third day, we're going to get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take too long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I would like to establish that we have already sent the letter to Laka and Damia about where we are and where to meet us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Just so this can't be caught in some, like, well, you didn't send it yet
Yeah, no.
moment.
Okay. Well, that's good.
See?
He sent
That's
it
why
as
you
soon as
say
he was
these
there
things.
for like 10
Mhm.
minutes in his room.
Will and Art are
Upstairs.
investigating the mace, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I assume you're just doing a glance over it first.
Yeah, we're going to break into Oswald's room. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
go through his stuff,
Mm-hmm.
find it, and then we're going to closely inspect it with all of our available knowledge within our head.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just to reiterate the design of it, the shaft of it is not particularly interesting in and of itself. It's mostly just a long silver pole. And then at the top, it has these twisting silver tendrily looking things that point out in the corners.
Mhm.
And buried in the center of that is a bright yellow orb. It kind of looks like glass a little bit.
This whole setup kind of reminds me of the spot, the one that Brix wanted to touch, that Oswalt ended up touching back in Coombe.
Mm-hmm. It does look a lot like that. Yeah, almost exactly, actually. Just smaller.
Okay. And, like, does the orb inside look more like the one that we touched that one time than it does the one that we kind of have? I guess we can directly compare it to the one that Oswalt has, because we're just going through shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
so
grabbing at stuff.
the orb has like the two metal caps on either end of it.
Mhm.
It's got like a band in the middle that is glowing this almost bubbly looking yellow energy. The one that you saw in Coombe was more of just like a sphere of light, and the center of the mace looks more like the sphere of light in Kum. It doesn't have like the metal caps on the end of it, and it's not like bubbling quite the same way.
So like color-wise, very similar, but like the actual thing is like kind of different.
Yeah.
Is it similar to the shield that we got too? The way that it glows?
Yeah. The orb and the shield have like the exact same, the orb that Oswalt has, the one with the metal caps.
Yeah.
The glowy, bubbly energy in that and the shield are exactly the same.
So the only one
Okay.
different is the one in the maze.
It's not even that different. It's just almost like it's its own container, whereas the shield and the orb have containers containing the thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So can I like knowledge as far as like, is this a substance or is it, because previously we've kind of thought that the orbs were just like an object that is the orb. But encountering one that looks more like this is the object versus maybe this is some kind of like energy contained in a vessel, is that a distinction we can make?
Can I get you both to roll a knowledge arcana and combine them to see if your combined powers can figure this out?
Ooh.
Well, I hope you rolled better than I did, because
Yes.
Art is in true form right now, rolled an 8.
29 total.
Oh. Okay.
Thanks God.
No problem.
Art's like, maybe
Different.
these are like different but the same. And Will's like, I got this.
Well, don't worry. I know exactly what you want to say.
Yeah, I
in
know
a
what you mean. That's
scientific
good.
way. I got you. You're so smart, little king.
Okay, so between the two of you, you're able to deduce that you may have been onto something about it being a substance, i.e. the same kind of substance that's inside the other two objects that you have. So it feels like it has something reminiscent of a life force in it of some kind. Not that it is alive or sentient, but something similar.
Like energy, like life energy.
Yeah, kind of like, like life energy. Like a piece of a soul or something.
So I kind of sort of communicated with the weird god
Yeah.
for a little bit. Is there any similar draw to this like mace as that connection?
It's similar, yeah. It feels a little bit similar. Also, when you guys have the other two objects nearby this thing, much like how there was the resonating feeling between the two of them, you get something similar with the mace, but it's not exactly the same. So it's like whatever the substance is in it is the same, but clearly the construction and whatever's housing the magic that's keeping it all together is slightly different.
Okay.
It's just like being fueled by the same thing, but is running a different OS.
Do I get the feeling that this mace is how Bellinor was able to communicate with that god? Because he was communicating directly with that god from what I could see.
Well, that's what he said, yeah. But I
I
think it was.
don't think that you'd be able to draw a hard conclusion from that one way or the other, but it
Doesn't seem unlikely.
you wouldn't really get that in impression.
I would or I wouldn't.
Would not.
All of these things are so similar and like of similar make. I would like to ponder for a minute about the fact that I know I have heard before people talking about putting together an artifact or a weapon of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Or at least finding different artifacts of the
Yes.
same thing.
The
Yeah,
god
but
killer? Is that what you
exactly.
were...
Like, but it's all like they all look the same. They look like pieces of the same thing. And these people keep talking about putting together some object. So, I would like to consider for a moment that maybe they are similar, not because they are like separate objects made the same way, but because maybe they are all part of the same thing, which would make sense if they're trying to look for all of them. Bellinor said that they were trying to retrieve all of them, put them together. They just didn't have that many yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they
Yeah.
were bothering us to begin with, because also we have a couple, I guess. So, do you want me to roll anything to put my thoughts together on that if I gather any info coherently, or what do I do?
You'd like to see if you can work out whether or not
Well, yeah,
this is
because
part
we
of the
have-
same thing
yeah,
as
we
the other
have so
two
much-
things.
I feel like we already have enough information about that.
Now that we have 3 pieces, can we see if this is a puzzle?
Yeah, like now that we have 3 pieces and with all the stuff that we have heard from Bellanor and everybody else, adventuring around finding these things in all of the places we've been at, where like there's history being told about these things and the people related to them. I would like to know how much of all of that I can put together in my head, because right now, to me, it is sounding like these pieces are just part of something, like way bigger. I don't know if they go together, if we could even assemble anything as it is not right now.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, but if you want to try and get a more concrete answer,
yeah,
can I get you to roll another knowledge arcana then?
Yeah.
Can we both roll as we like spitball this off of each other?
Sure.
26.
I rolled another 8.
So you're like,
Yeah. Art's asking the questions back at you, but because you're hearing it from a different person, it's making you think
what you were
more.
telling me is that you are my John Watson to my Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
I cannot figure out
That's exactly
shit
what's
on my
happening.
own without someone who is like talking to talking to me about it.
I'm just the yes man.
The
I'm
yes.
just the like, okay, yeah. No, I think we should stick on that. And you're like, okay, yeah. Oh, we'll spin that wheel for
the
a
support, the theory support.
second. Yeah.
I love it.
So
He thinks he's so smart. Like, wow, you really are putting this together. That is crazy. You're so sexy.
based on the
What?
Yeah.
based on
you
the construction of the containers of the first 2 objects you have, the orb and the shield, you can confidently say that they are most certainly 2 pieces of one greater whole. The mace, however, feels like a completely separate object.
Ha. Well, that is interesting. Okay. So another similar, only 2 of them are actually pieces of whatever this thing is. And the mace is something different. Like, what the hell would you use it for? Is it just like an energy, like a battery or like an energy source?
Or if we combine enough of these energy sources, do we get the kind of orb that's in the mace?
Well, also remember the conversation that you guys were having with Bellanor. He was definitely on some type of mission, and there was mentions of some grand test of some kind.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, they were testing something.
Yeah.
So you think they are trying to like, figure out how to make these then?
Maybe how to make more of them?
Is that it? So like maybe his mace is made by them. Like that's what they're trying to figure out, how to make these orbs or these like energy sources. And that's why it's not quite right. It's a little different.
It keeps coming back to me, like, part of me wants to just touch the orb in the mace. To be like...
Pull it out? We would have to pull it out.
But like the last time we touched an orb like that, we got transported and lost 2 weeks or something of like life.
Everybody comes back and we're just gone. Like nowhere near.
What the fuck?
I mean, it'd be a great way to be in hiding, let's be real. But the cops would be here. It is an interesting thing to think about, but I don't know if we have enough information. They were going towards the grand experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And the grand experiment did sound like it was going to be a lot of people dying.
Okay. Oh,
I remember getting that idea.
But if this thing feels like it's a life source, couldn't you make one of them with enough people dying?
Probably.
So maybe they do know how to make it. It's just they can't make it quite right. It's a tiny orb, right? Like maybe it's like it takes a lot of people dying to make one of these.
The ones we had before are ancient, and this one might be new.
No, yeah, I think that they might have made this one. Like maybe the little orb is it's small because it was an earlier test, and now they were trying to kill a bunch of people to see if they could make a bigger.
Well, I mean, the one we got from the Wanderer, I say with air quotes, would definitely be ancient, right? Because like that had obviously been undisturbed for a very long time.
Yes.
We don't know about the one in the puzzle ball, whether it was like...
But they look the same. They look exactly
ancient
the same.
or new, but those 2 look the same. I mean, the puzzle ball was at least forgotten for like decades?
Mm-hmm.
At least like several years, not necessarily like...
When you guys first got the puzzle box, when you brought it to one of the guild scholars to try and see what its deal was or if they could open it, I believe at the time they said that it was over 1,000 years old.
Okay, so it is ancient as well. That's...
There you go.
And we were like, what the fuck's an ancient artifact doing in your like attic, my guy, my dude? But like, whatever.
It was passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we have two that are ancient, so we can potentially posit that, like, they're trying to capture whatever this ancient tech was in, like, a new way.
Yeah.
Or found a way to refine it or perfect it, maybe, in modern time.
I mean, it's either better or it's worse. I think that's the problem.
It's either better or it's worse,
but
like...
if they're doing an experiment, it sounds to me like they don't have it right. They don't have it down yet. And so maybe this big thing where all these people were supposed to die was supposed to be there, like, oh, we think we've got it now. Let's try it and see if it makes
to see if they could, like, distill enough of it to make the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is worrisome. I thought all these things were old and lost to time. I don't want people making any more. I don't know why, but it makes me the badness. It gives me the badness.
It doesn't feel good.
Okay.
Either way, I mean, there is a potential that this one could still be ancient and just be of a different...
I guess so.
Do we get the feeling that one is more or less potent?
Not really.
Magic-wise, like magic vibe-wise.
They kind of all feel equally potent in different ways.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. While the orb has no clear function right now, you at least know that the shield is like an amplifier.
Well, and we kind of get the idea that the orb was kind of like the batteries, right? Like if we have the orb and the battery side by side, how are those comparing? What are the batteries like?
The batteries? From the like cylinders.
The ship from the place.
From the
not spaceship that is definitely like some kind of spaceship, yes.
Yeah, okay.
From the alien place.
Alien
house.
Okay.
Alien house. Cop Out's alien house.
The batteries, they're definitely the same style of technology as the orb and the shield. Yeah. But the batteries themselves are like slightly different, as if they were made by somebody else. Definitely from the same era, from the same like culture and all that, but like just different enough that you would be able to say that like one person made the orb and someone else made the battery.
Mm-hmm.
Does the battery feel like a midway point between the orb and the mace in any way? Like, is it still bubbly? Is it still like liquidy?
It's not bubbly. It's not liquidy. It's just like a glowy light, the battery.
So it is kind of also like the mace.
Sort of. It's not exactly a halfway point. It feels closer to the first orb that you have than to the mace.
It's almost like if someone had made the mace at the same time the orb was made, it would be like the battery. Maybe. Kinda. Sorta.
You might be able to say something like that.
Like, you might be jumping to conclusions, but that might also be kind of valid.
You might be able to, like, say that it's close to that. The mace feels more like it's just a pure energy source than it does to say, like, something like the shield, which has a clear function, like a clear-cut function. It feels more like it's just raw power. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like it serves the same purpose as the battery does, which is literally just powering something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, that was a long line of questioning.
That's fine.
I mean, at some point we had to do this.
But I feel like we actually have to interact with this at some point.
We had to do this, no?
Art's finally starting to get stuck on the idea that, like, we really don't know what we're doing. We just assume that us having these things is better than someone else having these things, but we don't know what they do and what they're for and why anyone would want to collect them. We're just doing it.
Yeah.
So
the only thing you know about it now is that somebody worse than you guys is after it, at least.
Exactly. So he's like, I'm glad we have it, but they kind of knew what they were doing, which also is concerning.
This is really funny. I feel like the more they find out, the more worried Art looks throughout this entire conversation, and definitely the more like fascinated Will looks. Even though he's like, "This is bad. This is probably really bad," but fascinating. Because like it's just.
But hear me out.
He'd be so excited, though, in a way.
For science, though.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, Art's kind of there for science, but he's also like, are we the baddies?
Are we all the baddies? Are we all bad?
Are we the baddies?
That's the twist. Everyone is bad.
I think Valinor also kind of referred to us as disciples.
Oh, whoops.
And I think kind of in a way Knack and Brix are.
Oh, because they've been touched?
Yeah.
Not by choice.
By the space nasty.
Not by choice. but like I feel like we are a little bit kind of maybe the chosen ones of this like evil god.
That's such a kick in the nuts to Mr. Bellinor, who definitely wants to be the chosen one.
I know who wanted to be the chosen one,
And
but
is
like,
willing, and all of us are
but
like,
like we're
completely,
just accidentally the chosen ones.
we're completely unwilling, and yet this stupid god is like, can I get them to be
Yeah.
my disciples?
Bug
And then
man.
Bellinor is like, I'm right here, bro.
The
Please
loyal
swipe
one
right.
is good. But what about the
Left.
scrungly ones?
What about the ones that are actively defying me? I like them. They've got spunk,
They
which
got
feels
spear.
like something an evil god would do. Just saying.
I like the Ant-Man and the cat. I want them for me.
Those ones. Bring them to me.
Yeah. Another. Cool. Yeah. Art's gonna try and meditate, and like he's just keeping an eye on this whole Freylor situation.
Oh, I guess I'll go. I
So
guess I'm
we
being
can
kicked
go-
out.
We can go back downstairs.
I'll leave.
That's
It's like, that's fantastic. I'm going to meditate. Get out of my room.
Wait, okay, so this was in...
I mean, we're both in Oswalt's room. I can go in my own.
Oh, yeah.
He's meditating in Oswald's room. He comes back and there's two dudes not asleep.
Yeah,
Not
not
sleeping.
asleep, but not sleeping.
But not sleeping. It's
Not
like,
asleep
Just
and
a
not
couple
awake.
of weirdos.
on the
Yeah.
bed,
That's fine.
meditating.
Yeah, on the bed. It's fine. Not doing anything.
What?
They're just like staring at each other with the legs folded, doing nothing.
Huh.
Just not
normal.
sleeping.
Just normal
Normal.
dude things.
Have
Normal
you
stuff.
ever said how Art meditates? Like, for all we know, could Art's meditation pose just be like him T-posing in the middle of the room, or?
He goes back to default. He's just like that.
I think I have said he like sits down.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
sitting and T-posing, maybe.
A seated thing.
A lowercase
And we have
T.
a lowercase t. And we have said that he is exceptionally quiet because there used to be someone at the church who like meditated really loud and it
Yeah.
like, really pissed him off. Those are specific things I know we've established. A lot of time, I think his meditation just looks like sitting or sleeping.
Mm.
He takes poses that are like normal,
Natural.
natural kind of things. But I think he's normally just like sitting on a bed or like sitting on the floor.
I think it'd be funny if you arrived like in a room and he was laying face down like one of those puppies that fall asleep on the floor and they're just like that. You know? On their limb.
Oh my god, Art, are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
What?
Or what if Art's meditation pose was the Family Guy like fall down pose?
Yeah. With all their limbs like folded everywhere.
I like that.
Perfect. Y'all can go back to doing Hell's Kitchen episode.
Yeah. Go. Bar rescue.
Is it still nighttime? It's still the same night.
Yeah.
We haven't had a chance to see if he'll get new customers because the door is fixed.
From the door, I
and
think
his
a little
dirty
more would be
regular is
needed.
out of here. His
Well,
Yeah.
smelly,
Keep an eye on
shriveled up
the night.
fucking regular.
How do you know he's a regular?
He just
He got
seemed
that
like
stank.
he came here.
Oh,
often.
okay. Yeah, all right, fair.
That's
He
salty
came here
stank.
often and he kept those people away. So maybe Knack will call it a night. And
Okay.
we'll see, because he said he didn't want to go any further until he saw results from cleaning the door, I guess.
And then
Well,
dumping all the
He really
salt on
needed
the
proof that that having the front door to the establishment be able to open
Yeah.
properly
He
would
asked
change
for-
his business. Or
All he said was that he would take one piece of advice from you. You chose the door thing.
First things first, man. People can't get into the fucking bar.
Well, I can't argue with you there. That's true.
Let's put
That
up a
was
sign
fact.
now with working door.
Now with
that?
entrance.
Now open.
Or literally just a sign that says
Now
open.
Works.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Knack makes a little sign on a piece of paper. He draws it real nice that just says "Try the door" with an arrow at the doorknob.
It's such a small town. People might be like, "Ooh," and opening
Yeah.
and closing.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa!
The salty dog. Oh, the salty dog opens now, dude. Have you heard that?
Whoa! No
Wow,
fucking
no way.
way!
First
I've never been in there
door
before.
First door
could
open is
go-
free, but if you want to leave, to be able to open the door again, you have to buy something.
Yeah.
Brix and Knack could go could go attract customers by going to a busy square and being like, "Have you gone to the Salty Dog? Yeah! Have you tried their salty dogs? Yeah!" And I heard that smelly, raisiny, shriveled up regular is gone. For good.
For good?
No way.
For good? Wow, it sounds like the best bar in town.
Oh boy.
Please tell me Knack would put on his fucking pimp Knack costume again while doing this, so he doesn't get recognized.
Yeah.
Is the Baron of Donkey Sauce back?
Oh yeah.
Laying low as the
I forgot
Baron
that
of
Knack
Donkey
has
Sauce?
like a really fancy outfit. I forgot about that. What was that for? Why did Knack have that outfit? What was it for?
Scamming.
Fucking Krusty Gibbs gonna come get ya. You scammed some pirate.
Yeah.
Back in Dock
Rye.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Was Knack is that why Knack was wearing like a fancy outfit with like a big poofy hat?
Yeah.
I think Scarlet told you to go get something and lie low.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
Brix
yeah,
said
and then
buy
I-
something
oh, yeah,
inconspicuous.
that's what it was.
Inconspicuous. Brix said buy something inconspicuous. And I think you went shopping with Scarlet,
Yeah.
which is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a thing that can happen. Inconspicuous. Yeah, I got it.
This is
Yeah,
dressing
let's
down
look.
for Scarlet, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be fair, that was dressing down for Scarlet.
Let's go drum up some interest.
What he's wearing right now, to him, it's low key as hell.
Is Oswalt just still cleaning the kitchen, or is he done?
I'd say you're probably done by now.
That was one dirty ass kitchen.
Unless you want to
Wow.
give it like a deep scrub.
Yeah, if you want a deep clean, it's going to be another 2 hours.
But it's
If
like,
you want to get into grout and like really get in there,
that's what I'm saying, yeah. But like,
Yeah.
it's acceptably clean.
it's food safe.
Exactly. All the surfaces that like would have you interacting with
Riddled with
food
malaria, just like.
are
Yeah.
no longer
Polio everywhere.
riddled with malaria.
And there's no possible grease fires.
No.
There's a shaker full
Not
of
a-
anthrax in that
What the fuck?
instead of salt or pepper.
Peg, why do you have a can full of asbestos?
Yeah.
I like the way it tastes.
It's seasoning for seasoning.
What do you think makes the dogs taste so good?
It's the asbestos.
That's my secret ingredient. That's the
Wait,
11th
why-
herb and spice.
What time is it?
Night.
It's late at night because we traveled the desert today.
Yeah.
Well, traveled a few hours.
2 hours. 3 hours.
Yeah, that's
2,
true.
3 hours.
That's true. Didn't we also have that fight earlier today?
Yes.
We did. The morning started with you exploding a fucking restaurant attached to an inn.
Wow.
It's been a long
This day feels like it's been going on for weeks. God, I could really use some rest.
You destroyed an inn this morning and are remaking an inn tonight.
Yeah.
I was a dog earlier today. Wow.
You impaled a guy on honey earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My
Yeah, we had to like wipe off honey from all the blood.
Yep.
My decision to give up my money was earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a decision to give up your money. You just gave all your money to a woman whose place you evaporated.
I did
It
what I had to
wasn't
do,
it
all
wasn't
right?
a moral quandary. It wasn't
Don't take that away from. Don't you take that away from
Take
Knack?
it away. My material possessions.
Knack didn't have to give it up.
I'd also like to remind you that it was merely earlier today that there was a waiter that was about to bring you your breakfast and who you guys thought was being rude just because he didn't talk much. And you knocked him unconscious, and that was literally the last you ever saw of you. Was an elephant blew him up, threw him over the counter of the bar, and that was the last he saw you guys.
Shrapnel went in your waffles.
Wasted my coffee.
He saw a split second of an elephant.
How's Larian doing?
Sleeping probably if he's smart.
Larian is actually in the inn room, and he's just kind of reading that book that he bought earlier to try
About
and
sending?
to try and remember how to fucking cast sending. He's just reading that because he doesn't have anything else to read right now. But he's coping. He's doing okay.
He's coping. Okay,
Coping.
good.
He's
Okay,
trying
good.
to read
Yeah.
his books, and Brix is introducing him to all her bowls. She's got them spread out on the bed, and she's like,
This one I stole from this other asshole, and this one I stole from a particular asshole. And,
Art
and
comes
he's like,
in
"You're
and
not
he's like-
looking. Look at the bowl."
Art comes in and he's like, I know about the bowls. I'll just get that one out of the way.
There's a lot of bowls.
And this
There's-
one I
there's-
bought.
There's a lot of bowls.
I paid for money, like a room.
Huh.
You paid money for one?
Yeah, for two.
Wow.
She holds them up.
Mm.
I was gonna steal the second bowl, but the guy was real nice, so
See,
Aw.
sometimes you just need to talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well-
half the time when I talk to people, they get really weirded out for some reason. So
They do. You have to kind of ease them into it. You're a cat.
Mm. Mm.
yeah, I know.
I can't reiterate enough that in my extended experience, cats don't normally talk. As normal as this is.
I mean, I feel like this is like a you problem, just because where I'm from, all the cats talk. It's just that's how it is.
Which I find really intriguing. We should probably go to where you're from at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Oh.
Let's.
Oh,
You hear Oswalt slowly making his way back to his room.
Yeah.
Do, do, do.
Art has gone back. You see like Art and Will coming out of Oswald's room, and they're just like, we were looking at the shit,
Yeah.
the MacGuffins and
Yeah.
shit.
Sure.
Medical.
Sure. Should I let the room air out for a minute, or?
Art doesn't understand. You do you.
I'm going to be weird about it on purpose. Yes.
Oswalt laughs and then just goes into the room.
Oswald doesn't care. He's just like, nice. People were fucking on my bed. I'm glad.
Oswald just knows that should I air it out as a thing that you say, he doesn't know what it means.
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. This is where we get away with it.
He heard it somewhere and thought it was funny, and he's trying to be relatable.
I love this because that means there were three people having a conversation and none of them were saying the same thing to each other.
Yeah.
At all.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Yeah. Or understanding the same concept.
That's
at all.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that.
should we go drum up some interest in the bar or go to bed?
Why don't you drum up some interest?
It's nighttime.
Yeah.
We need rest at some point.
That's when people go to bars. I mean, I am going to go meditate in the room with Larian. We've tried to sort things. Art may also be like, do you want to read, like, I don't know.
Scripture.
Yeah, he doesn't really
The
have
Bible?
much other than, like, I think he may have one Mutton Scruggs book that he bought to give to Oswalt that he has not given to Oswalt yet.
Yeah.
So he might just be like, you remember these from when we were kids? Like, you can
Yeah.
read that if you want. Like,
Oh, no way.
Finally,
Why do you
something
have
good.
this?
You're cheating on
found it.
Oswald.
I found it at a market in London, and it just, memories.
Oh, that kicks ass.
I need it. I need it back though. I was gonna get. Oswald thinks there's only one Mutton Scruggs book.
What?
Yeah, and it's like not even one of the good ones.
What?
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's pretty crazy
The one with the book.
That's
because there's like
crazy.
God. There's like with the original author, what, like 40?
Something like that.
Like yeah, like it was.
Like 43 or something.
Yeah, it's like a really long series. And I mean, there's like another 20 or 30, but it's not as good. You can tell it's a ghostwriter.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think when you buy box collections, I don't think they come with those.
Oh, God, why would they? Everyone knows. Everyone knows what the good ones are.
Of course. Of course. I think that guy actually finished writing. I think it just is done trying to pretend he can continue Mutton Scruggs now. I think he's doing something else.
Good.
Just good.
I mean, just like let it rest at a certain point. You know?
Let sleeping dogs lie, as it were.
Exactly.
Which was a really good one.
It
No sense
That
beating
was-
a dead horse, as it
Num-
were.
Yeah, also a really good one. Number 28 and 32, respectively.
Mutton Scruggs and the Mystery of the
Yeah.
Dead Beaten Horse.
And mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried different naming conventions for a while that were just a lot of idioms. That's when you knew it was like starting to peter out, but some of them are still really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's like flashes of brilliance here and there.
Exactly. It's like the first 10, number 16, 22. Like, you just
Let's
gotta...
Live in Dog's Lie was cool because it was a noir one.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
It's
It was
really
a
good
totally
to
different
know
like
that
style.
They still continue to be funny
Yeah.
long after the issue titled "The Dead Beaten Horse."
Yeah.
It's really great to know that it's still fresh.
Yeah.
How do you
But that
guys
one was
feel-
like 32 out of like 43. You know, that was nearing the end. That was kind of the beginning of the end, but like at a high note there.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Do you think the introduction of the cute nephew character was maybe the like beginning of the end though?
Well,
It was
Maybe.
really when they like brought in the love interest and there was like this like will they won't they, but then they did
And it wasn't as satisfying.
It wasn't.
it's
It also like happened way too soon, so the whole rest of the relationship was like there's nothing keeping it going anymore.
Them
as
eating
readers.
bagels and just like kind of not talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got like they got into like
What?
like long term, you know, like really comfortable. Like it was too quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we needed more of that like tension.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Straight relationships are usually not well written. What happens?
Honestly, yeah. Like
It's the bare minimum. They're just like smushed together. It's a shame.
yeah, there was actually a lot more chemistry with the like the not necessarily a love interest was like kind of a rival, but like every time they were like talking, it was just the chemistry, you know?
Yeah.
The spark was there.
Oh yeah, Buster Chops. Yeah.
Yeah, Buster
Yeah.
Chops, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was like got a little steamy, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the fanfics related to that
Oh.
stuff.
Yeah.
The fanfics are basically like canon.
Yeah.
At this
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Like it's like a hard fanon.
Mm.
I feel like it was probably just a publisher thing. So like the writer clearly wanted to do something with that he wasn't allowed to do.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know
Really?
what? Yeah, I feel like the first like 4 or 5 volumes where Buster Chops shows up, you can tell it's like kind of building to something.
Yeah.
And then he shows up and it's like after the like love interest, like quote unquote love interest is introduced. And it's like, it's a lot, it's really different. Like,
Yeah.
I
there's
think it
clearly
was
something going on
probably
there.
a publisher thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
yeah,
always like
I
some
think you're
straight
right.
romance like shoehorned into every good story, man. Like they just think that they gotta put
Yeah.
it in there so that it will sell, but it was already popular.
Yeah, it was
You know,
already
they were
selling
already
like
good books.
crazy.
Exactly. They were already over 20 volumes.
It was
you
better
know?
it was better to have this like not really, is it real? Is it not? You decide relationship with a rival. Like it was way more fun. It was up in the air. You didn't have to you don't have to force a romance. Like
Yeah, and like people were really intrigued by it. Like they were really happy to like play in the space, like, and just kind of like let it happen or not happen. You know, you didn't have to engage with it if you didn't want
Exactly.
to. They weren't like heavy-handed with it.
Mhm.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's really where Mutton Scruggs was at its peak, was around then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. And the nephew was annoying. Characters are always a bad idea for sidekicks. That's why it
I
didn't
mean,
last.
Oh,
The
yeah.
book where he was introduced, you know, the fact that he had an integral part, the whole thing took place inside of a like birthday pizza parlor places and they had the haunted animatronics. Great stuff.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, and they kept bringing him back, and he had that catchphrase that kind of got old after a while.
No.
Yeah, children
and
are
eat
my
really hard
ass.
to write.
Eat my ass,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And he was supposed to be
funny-
controversial because he was so young, you know, like, and it's funny to have a child being like, eat my ass.
Yeah, but it just didn't come across the same like ironic like
No, he was just annoying.
edgy way that it was supposed to. It was just
Yes.
weird.
Yeah, it was
These are
almost
two
like
It
he
was
would
funny,
come
but,
into a
like, the
scene,
first
say,
time.
eat my ass, and then leave. And it's
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah, pretty
okay, I
much.
get it at that point.
I think
Yeah.
when you brought the character in, right, it's like you had this idea, it was going to be a one-off,
Yeah.
and then the book came out, and it was like such a huge hit. It almost feels like he was like written into the book
Yeah.
after that, like the
Mm.
one that comes right after. It's like he kind of just shows up midway through, and you're like, that's weird. Like maybe he sent a letter at the beginning of the book. Like I don't quite remember.
Yeah.
And then after that, he's just like always there. And it's like, okay, like just someone's a fan favorite for one volume.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean they have to
doesn't
be in
really
like
work. They
10
have
volumes after that.
Exactly.
They have to fit in the context of the plot. Like they have to be able to further that, and
Yeah.
Just like the whole joke of the child saying "eat my ass" is funny the first 3 times. We don't want it for the rest of the show.
No.
Then it's just like an annoying character as always. Like I don't want another child running around like our main protagonist forever, just saying "eat my ass."
Yeah. Well, and then you feel like you can't touch on like more adult themes because now there's a child around.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is like make your
And-
mind. Is your child like is he funny because he says adult things or no? Like do we do adult things around him or not? And then too hard to handle.
And then you can't return to things like the mystery of the beaten horse. Because are you gonna beat more dead horses with a child there? Like absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, it's like that. It starts to make actually some of the. There's like a couple like right near the end of the run that are like a little disturbing because you have to like operate under the knowledge that like they're at this like murder scene, and there's a child there, and they like won't let. He's like eat my ass like off in a corner, and like they won't like forget that he's there.
Yeah, they totally wrote themselves into a corner. Like it was not necessary, and then they just had to maneuver around there, and it was weird. It was weird and stilted.
I mean, it gets really obvious why the series was supposed to end after a while, and why they had to.
Yeah.
You know, like
I honestly feel like it was supposed to end around like number like 25 or 26.
Oh, for sure.
Like that's kind of where like the main arc.
Yeah.
You know, you get Buster Chops kind of like falls off after there too, where it's like they were kind of playing against each other, and then. It just kind of petered out.
And then every time Buster Chops shows up after a certain point, he's just kind of antagonistic, but for no real reason.
Yeah.
Like it's
like
just a role he's supposed to have.
Yeah, it really feels like he used to have like a really direct. You always knew what he was doing and like why he was fucking with things.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, it's just kind of like, oh, I'm here just to like cause chaos. It's like,
yeah.
It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can't believe we're such big fans of this that we forgot to play D&D for a long time. Like, we're just so into this, like, series that we just forgot we were playing D&D.
There's our 100th episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the Scruggs
That would be amazing if this was the 100th episode.
Oh my god.
We just can't,
Thanks for watching 100 episodes of Stumble Quest. Bye.
Bye.
Right.
This thing.
I'm literally gonna put that out in the cutting room floor and just call it Scruggs Cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you think that went on for?
Oh, I know.
At
like
least 20 minutes.
Holy fucking shit.
It couldn't have been that long. It couldn't have been that
It
long.
must have been.
No.
Like,
no,
but the
no
thing
way.
was, it
10
was so
tops, 10
slow
tops.
because it started with just
It started
David
Art and Larian, and then everyone was just like, "Oh fuck this, I'm getting in."
We got so into it, like we really were being like actually offended about like this thing that we're all so into. It's like our thing.
Amazing.
It's like, do you believe?
Okay. I can just imagine, like, if you didn't upload that with its own context, somebody listening to that and being like, "Are these real? What's happening?"
I want to read this.
Yeah.
I was literally about to talk about, oh, do you remember that book, though? The one where Buster Chops, he got the time diamond and he, like, broke it and went back in time and he, like, stopped. And then I was going to make up some, like, stupid, like, he punched Fantasy Hitler in the face. And
It's crazy. It made so many plot holes. And then every other book after that was just a mess.
yeah,
But I mean, thankfully, that was only like the last, 5 books?
something like that, yeah.
Well, hey, howdy, hey, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this new episode of Stumble Quest. Our theme is Struttin by Louie Zong, with other music by Kevin MacLeod of Incomputech.com. And as you well know, this is a bi-monthly podcast twice a month, and we're gonna see y'all in 2 weeks on July 19th. But until then, you could stop by StumbleQuest.com, where we have info about the show, cast, and characters. We are at StumbleQuest on Twitter, and if you're feeling a little sociable and want to join our show Discord, the link is in the description. 5-star ratings and reviews help the show so much. But if you've already been so kind as to do that, a little word of mouth never goes astray, and we appreciate it infinitely. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/StumbleQuest. One of the tiers is still allowing access to a play-by-post game run by Rosemary, which is exclusive to some patrons. And there's some patrons I'd love to say thank you to right now. Thank you so much to Andy Animates, Crispy, Eldritch Pixel, Elfheim, John Bridaham, Lemon Wiki, Mad Hatter Plush Artist, Mr. Peacher, Mike Provenzano, Shaz Hands, Striker, The Tommynator, Will the Smoshy, and Zolt. Thank y'all so much. Your support helps us bring every new episode full of goofs right to you. This episode was edited by myself, Allie. You can find me at YouSeeTheHat on most socials. And tune in next time, folks, where Peg is about to be revealed to be the ghostwriter for the Scruggsverse.